You're probably noticing that we look a little bit different today. We've got fancy new sports jackets on. That's a big thanks to Sahil and Anis for providing them. Hello and welcome to Gulf News Kicking Back, the chat show all about football. My name's Imran and I'm joined by Matt and Sahil. You're probably noticing that we look a little bit different today. We've got fancy new sports jackets on. That's a big thanks to Sahil and Anis for providing them. Right, I just want to read out a quick comment from one of our super fans. That's Elizabeth Tiggy, wrote in to say that she missed the news updates and the Scotsman from yesterday's show. Well, Elizabeth, they're both back today. Matt, give her a little wave.
I apologise. I broke my phone yesterday and I wasn't able to log in. That's why I wasn't able to join the meeting yesterday, but I'm back today. So I hope that that has completed your weekend for you.
Here we go. Let's start with some news. Liverpool are interested in Lille and Portugal midfielder Renato Sanchez, but they could face competition from Arsenal and probably quite a few others. He's had a very good tournament. Juventus are considering re-signing Paul Pogba from Manchester United. That'll be an interesting move. And AC Milan won Bayer Leverkusen and Czech Republic striker Patrick Schick. And I think there'll be quite a few suitors for him. Staying with the Czech Republic, they played Denmark last night in the quarterfinals. Denmark won 2-1 and are now in the semi-finals. And I think we're all really pleased for them because of the, well, just purely because of the emotional roller coaster of a tournament that they've had.
Yeah, they've been absolutely, you know, you can make up. If somebody came up with this script in Hollywood, you'd be going, this is nonsense. But, you know, yeah, they're doing the, you know, they would cast Will Smith as Schick or something like that, you know. It's just been crazy. But they're still going, they're still standing strong. The Czech Republic have had a great tournament. They can go home with their heads held high. But Denmark, everybody's loving it, everyone. Except for the Czechs, maybe. But you know, Schick scored again, and an absolutely brilliant tournament. As you just said, they were lining up for him now. He's out. Denmark, goodness knows what's going to happen next. Do we want them to win it? I don't know. Because if they, Imran's shaking his head.
No, but you're right, mate. They have, it's been the story of the tournament, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. They did it in '92 when they weren't even meant to be there. They might do it again. That's what I'm saying. I'm actually thinking, this is going to take something from Italy or England to stop these boys now. And it's like a Rocky story, you know, they're actually starting to root for the underdog instead of the big boy. And yeah, I think they might. I'm going to go all crazy, and I think they might actually go and do this.
Sahil, do you think they might?
Look, guys, you guys are underestimating England way too much now, which is hurting me. So no, they will not. I mean, I love Denmark and you know, they enter the pitch with extra motivation, which is great. You know, I love to see their passion. But no, I think England should get the better of them. And we saw what England did yesterday. Yes, it was not against a high-profile opponent. But still, you know, but I'm not, it's definitely going to be a tough one for Denmark. But they enter the pitch with that extra motivation. I've seen that. And they are going to give a fight in the semis for sure. But I still think England should get the better of them because of quality. But I hope it's a good game. But yeah, surely I enjoyed yesterday Denmark's performance. From minute one, you know, Delaney scored a wonderful header. And, you know, they were just all over Czech in the first half. But the Czech Republic woke up in the second half. Schick scored instantly as soon as the half began. But let's see what happens afterwards.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Delaney gave them the lead with a header. Shouldn't have been a corner, though, by the way. It came off. Yeah, so that's a strange decision. We've seen them over the years given, and they often result in a goal going in. It was a good header, and then they doubled their lead with Dolberg with a great cross, though, by the way, from Marla outside the right foot. Lovely cross, picked him out at the back post. He stuck it in, and it looked like it was going to be a comfortable night. But like you say, Sahil, in the second half, early, Schick reduced the deficit, and it was game on from then, wasn't it, Matt? It was a good game after that.
Yeah, to me, the most interesting moments in both games, in both halves, were the first few minutes. Everybody seemed to score just right after the referee blew the whistle to take off. We saw it in the Denmark game twice. We saw it in the England game twice. And both games went in different directions from there. Obviously, Denmark got a bit of a tough time in the second half against the Czechs, but rode it out, whereas England got that early second goal in the second half, and then just put absolute distance between the two teams. Yeah, obviously we'll get onto that game in a second. But Denmark, yeah, they deserve their win. They don't do anything easily. I think that's the understatement of this tournament, and they'll continue to do it. But I really think they'll knock the socks off them in the next game. No offense, Imran.
No, but you're right, Matt. I mean, I think just the way they're playing, you know, full of freedom. There's no pressure there. They've got the support of everybody now, and they've got to the semis. And it's been, I think, more than nearly 30 years that they've done that in '92, like you mentioned. And they shouldn't have even been there in the first place, but they were, and they went on and won it. But yesterday, Sheik got his 5th goal, so he's joint leader now with Ronaldo. Obviously, he's out, Ronaldo's out, so they are joint top at the for the Golden Boot. But yeah, Denmark dug in deep. They held on for the win. That puts them into the semi-final on Wednesday at Wembley, and it will be against, like we've already mentioned, England, because as they were expected, they beat Ukraine yesterday. But they didn't just do that; they thrashed them. It could have been, and it could have been a lot more. It was a really dominant display, full of composure and quality. Southgate made several changes again, and they paid off again, didn't they?
Well, I'd say we go to Sahil first for this one.
Yeah, you know.
What did you make of it?
I mean, first of all, thankfully, Southgate did not play 5 at the back. Credit to him for not doing that, you know. And I got to point out, each individual from the England squad, it's starting 11, were just outstanding. Everyone did their job brilliantly, you know. I don't know what has happened to Raheem Sterling this tournament. He's doing scoring, assisting.
That number 10 up there, that's what.
He's just
not touching that either. Superstitions. This all stays
gone havoc. Sterling's gone havoc this tournament, you know. And again, Luke Shaw, what's happened to him? You know, he's taken that Premier League form into the Euros. He's assisting goals, and Harry Maguire again showing why he's important to the England squad. He scored. Obviously, Harry Kane scored the very early goal, which took England off. But in the first half, I just wanted to point out, yeah, they scored in the 4th minute. But after that, England in the first half just looked really sluggish. Like, yes, second half, they just woke up. They just started scoring, bang, bang. But in the first half, yes, after scoring, they looked very sluggish on the ball, you know. They were not creating chances. Sancho was not so good in the first half. He was brilliant in the second half, obviously. But this is where England got to, watch out against a high-profile team. Denmark are not going to allow to do this, definitely. You know, they're going to be more organized than Ukraine. So this is one worry that I had for England. Otherwise, you know, of course, 4-0, it's just outstanding. But that first half worried me a bit for England.
I think, Sahil, what happened there was, getting that early goal just changed the whole complexion of the game, because then that allowed them to sit back a little bit and just invite Ukraine on, and then they could hit them on the break with Sancho playing out wide. Made his first start of the tournament after his big money move to Man United. I think £75 million they've paid for him. So that first goal really changed the whole dynamics of the game. Otherwise, I think they may have been a bit more gung-ho and gone at them a bit more. Yeah. Have to in the end. And just you mentioned Kane got the 2 goals, and you mentioned Shaw, who I think was man of the match. He was absolutely brilliant. Got 2 assists yesterday. He got 1 against Germany. You know, there was competition for that left-back place with Ben Chilwell in the squad. But I think he's made that position his own now. He's proven that he's solid in defence, and he's a creator of goals. I mean, how impressive was he? And Maguire, you mentioned the whole team from 1 to 11 was really impressive yesterday, I thought.
Yeah, it's almost like we've got a time machine, because we're talking about a great Harry Maguire and a great Luke Shaw. That normally doesn't make sense these days, because I'm not the greatest fans of them when the way they've been playing at Man United. But to a man, they were brilliant. They knew how to soak it up, as Sahil was saying. They knew how to ride it out, shall we say, and also they knew how to hit on the break. They soaked up the punches. They were a bit sloppy in the last 35 minutes of the first half. It was, I guess for you, Imran, it was more of an emotional roller coaster than it was for us. But they came out and they did the exact same job as they did in the first half. After the whistle went, boom, goal, and then that was it. The wheels came off for Ukraine, and it was game over from that point.
Sahil, I think you enjoyed that second half a lot more, didn't you?
Oh, some unbelievable deliveries. First of all, for the Harry Maguire goal, was it offside or no? Was Harry Maguire's hand onside, offside? Can't say, but just about in. So thank God it was given a goal. Otherwise, England would panic again. But then from there, just again, Shaw with another beautiful ball. Again, Harry Kane this time at the back, and Jordan Henderson on the score sheet. How about that? Southgate must be happy. Southgate really likes Jordan Henderson. We've all seen that. And he's also in the score sheet. But, I just hope like now in the semi-finals, Maguire's on a yellow card, Declan Rice is on a yellow card. And if they both get a yellow card, and if England win, balance will go off, I feel. That's the one worry.
Can I ask, do we not reset the yellows? Is there no reset for the yellows in this tournament?
I thought they do from the semi-finals. Yeah, I think that might not be that might not come.
Yeah, I think there's an amnesty, and they all go back to 0 yellows, I think.
All right, that's good then.
We'll just double check on that. But I think you're right there, Matt. I think that does. Hey, look, another point. That's the 5th consecutive clean sheet now, and I think that's a new record at the European Championships. I don't think that's been done before. I think Italy's done that at the World Cup years ago, but England have kept another clean sheet.
82, I think.
82. So I mean, it's been a long time. I mean, Pickford he wasn't really tested too much. He had one shot to save in the first half. Got down smart to save it at his near post. But I think overall he was composed again. He was alert when he was needed. He organised his back four really well. He's really, I would say, more than anything, he's grown up in this tournament. I think he's just grown up. He's not so childish anymore. He's eradicated those mistakes. We're not seeing that. I mean, I was really concerned that, in a game like this, potential banana skin, there might be a flap at a ball across or something, and he's going to be to blame. But touch wood, up till now, he's still.
I've got my table out. Look. I think what we're seeing here is passion with sensibility by England. Mm. They're not just throwing it all on their sleeve and messing up like we've seen with Shilton and Trevor Steven in the past, and trying their hardest and then messing it up when they should be winning. There seems to be a real sense of belief in this team, and I'm actually starting to believe it too. They seem to really know what they're doing. Pickford has been brilliant. Maguire coming back has been a huge benefit for them. But then going forward, Kane, even Southgate stuck by Kane, and he's proven to be right now because Kane's now been banging in the goals. We all questioned, why is he playing Kane and not Foden? And why is he not starting Grealish? But that's a different debate. But it seems to all just be clicking, and they've got brains on them this time, believe it or not. English footballer with a brain. It sounds like a contradiction in terms. They're really good, but they're going to have such a mission on their hands against Denmark. I really think they will do, because again, they're going to have passion, and this Danish team are exactly the same way. And they, is it like we're at Wembley, or is it we're doing this for Christian? They've both got their own agenda, and it's going to be absolutely fascinating and probably going to be 0-0.
But Matt, you're right. You say clicking. That's exactly what's happening here. I mean, against Croatia in that first group game, wasn't a very good performance at all. Scraped through with a 1-0 win. Against Scotland, against you boys, I thought it was a very good game. Scotland was really unlucky, but a decent enough performance, another clean sheet. And against the Czech Republic, again, not too good, but got through. But then in the last 16, clicking, absolutely right. Against Germany, it all seemed to work, especially in that second half. And last night, absolutely, it really definitely clicked into place. So Hill, do you see any sort of weaknesses in this team now?
No, there's no weaknesses at all. Like you said, 5 clean sheets is not a joke in this tournament. I think Pickford's already won the Golden Glove. Italy have conceded in 2 games already, so I don't know if he's got it or no. So no, there's no weakness. I mean, in the first
For
three
Denmark
games,
to win 5-0.
but in the first three games, maybe I could have asked, like, are they not so like creative? They are playing seven defensive players and four attackers. That's all. So I was asking myself, are they creative? Do they have that creativity from Sterling, Foden, Mount? These were the guys who were starting regularly in the start. There was only one goal in the 180 minutes which they played between the Czech and Scotland, and then Mount and Foden were ruled out. Then still they scored only one against Czech. So I was questioning myself, they're good at the back. The Rice and Phillips are doing their job well. You cannot expect them to create many chances all the time.
No.
So that was my question. Like, will they create a lot of now against Germany? Scored two wonderful goals, two good goals. Now against Ukraine, four. So I cannot question anything to this England squad. Gareth Southgate has played his cards well, and they're fine. And I think they should be fine against Denmark. Go in with confidence, like how they played against Germany. The same confidence.
Yeah, I think those questions have definitely been answered, especially about being a little bit shot shy, getting 4 goals yesterday. It's a pretty decent, Ukraine team. They're not the worst, and also the
You
depth
don't get further than Germany, Spain, and Portugal by being rubbish. They deserve their place in the quarterfinals. Zinchenko was brilliant in the last 16. They just, like I say, on another day that might have been a very different result. The thing that I wanted to say about England is, you want to win the tournament, you've got a slow burn. You start slowly, you get faster, you get faster, you get faster. Just like New Zealand do every Rugby World Cup, and that's exactly what England are doing right now. They're just coming to the boil at the right time.
Absolutely at the right time. Semi-final. I mean, just 2 games to go. Southgate saying he wants to go 2 steps further. They got to the semi-finals of the World Cup and got knocked out by Croatia. So they want to go 2 steps further this time. I mean, just looking at their squad, we've mentioned it before. The depth of that squad with the quality there. I mean, it's frightening. You could see when it was 4-0 and England took off Harry Kane. The Ukraine players, they wanted to be in tears because who came on? Calvert-Lewin came on, so there's just no breather for them. And of course, there were starts for Sancho and for Mount. Henderson, as we've mentioned, came off the bench and scored a goal. I mean, that quality of that squad is it's really coming to the fore now. And this is really the best chance for them to go and win it now, surely. I mean, do you really think Denmark can pose a threat to England? I mean, it's going to be at Wembley Stadium. There's going to be 60,000 fans roaring England on. I mean, this is England's best chance now, isn't it?
Well, I think the fans were the extra man against Germany, very much so. They need to put sympathy to one side against Denmark if they want to. Then they've got to just get their singing voice on and get on with their job. And their job is to roar on their team, and see it through. Because these guys, like I said yesterday, or sorry, the day before yesterday, most of these guys weren't even alive last time England have done something like this, in '66. So to create a new generation, a new legacy, and a whole new bunch of Gary Linekers going on and on and on about it, they've got to actually achieve something. And I think this is, as you said, a great chance to do that. We can actually put 66 to bed and talk about 21 instead. We can actually talk about something new rather than harking back to the good old days and thinking about when we still had ration books and all that nonsense. Let's try and get a bit of progress here, and let's go with actually picking up a trophy instead. So hopefully they can do it. I still think Denmark might do it, but I've not even mentioned Italy. But well done for getting Calvert-Lewin in and mentioning Everton. And Shamshir's not here today, so we've not even mentioned Chelsea yet.
No Chelsea mentioned at all, yeah. Sahil, can they do it? Do you think they can do it?
Not sure, first let the semi-final get past, then we can talk about can they do it, because in a final no one is a favorite in a final, let's be honest here, whoever team it is. So let's I had one question for you. Now England played like with Jadon Sancho got a start, right? Foden didn't play. Even Jack Grealish didn't play. Now Jack Grealish did not even come on. What do you think of this? Like, will he get to play against Denmark? What do you think? Will he like come on as a sub? Because he didn't play this game. Everybody expected him to start, right? But he didn't
Yeah,
even
they
come
expected after he got that after he came on and that cameo against Germany. Even I thought that he might start because Saka was going to be out, but they went with Sancho, who showed glimpses of what he can do. He's got plenty of pace, we know that. I just can't question anything that Southgate's done up until now because everything's working. I mean, had we lost one of those group games, there would have been a lot of questions. Why are you playing him and why isn't he starting? You've got to change this, and the pressure would have been on. But because he's managed the team so well, every decision, we think it seems to be the wrong one, but it goes on to be the perfect one. I mean, yesterday it finished 4-0. I mean, who knows? Had Grealish started, maybe we would have been a bit soft in the middle, not as strong. Do you sacrifice Rice or Phillips in that position to give Grealish a game? I mean, we were all talking about Foden being going to be England's main player. And we know how good he is as well, but I mean, he's really hardly had a look in. So, I mean, the good thing is there's a lot of options. There's a lot of options for Southgate. He can literally, look at that squad, study it, but he'll pick the team that he knows or he thinks he knows is going to go and do a job against Denmark. He's still not thinking about entertaining the crowd or being really fun to watch. He's got this mindset now to keep advancing. It's like it's a totally different mentality. Very similar to how we know Germany normally are. Just get there, get to the final, and for sure we will see the likes of Grealish and Mount, who got to start yesterday. Foden, they're going to play their part. But for now, I think Matt, can we question anything that Southgate's done so far?
Still don't like him. I'll begrudgingly say that he's been bang on. Because he stuck to his guns, even when the red top tabloids were out for him, saying, why on earth are you still playing Harry Kane? Foden had his 5 minutes in the first game when he hit the post. Didn't really do a lot after that. And now Kane's coming good, and Southgate seems to be proven right. The red tops will just always forget yesterday's headlines and go with a new one tomorrow, so they don't have any guilt about it. But Southgate is he's been bang on. He's stuck with Kane. He's not relented, and he's keeping Grealish off the bench. For some reason, Jadon Sancho, who wasn't even getting a minute in the first few games, then gets a full 90 minutes. So I think he's just mixing it up, and that might be the risky part. Because if he does it again, if he might decide to go with Foden and Grealish to start with in the next game, and that could be risky because if it ain't broke, don't fix.
Yeah.
So I would just start with the same 11 you just started with.
All right, let's have some predictions. Let's start with Italy against Spain first. That's got to be a cracker of a match, isn't it? Italy are going to be without Spinazzola, who's been so good down that left flank for the Italians. A lot of their attacking threat comes from him, but unfortunately, he ruptured his Achilles tendon. He's going to be out for quite a while. I think that injury, depending on what grade of an injury it is, it could be several months out. So they're going to be missing him, but I don't know. They should still have probably too much in the tank there to get past Spain. I'm going to tip purely because I just love the way they play. I just want them to get to the final. It'll be an interesting final. I'm going to go Italy to win. I'm going to go 3-2. I can see a lot of goals in this game. What do you think?
Well, I think that you might be right. There's going to be lots of goals, but goodness knows, it could be 7-0. It could be 5-5. We don't know. But I think it's just funny. It just depends on what Spain team is going to appear, because on any given day they could win that 4-1, but on any other given day, which seems to be a little bit more common, they might lose it 4-1. So I'll go 3-1 Italy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't predict this game. I can't predict. I have seen Spain, how they play. It's just I can't predict with them anything.
No, not even a prediction from Sahil.
Non-committal.
What about the other one, Denmark and England? I think purely because of the home advantage, 60,000 fans and clicking, as Matt says, you know, into gear right now. I think England, I think there's no stopping them now. I think 2-0, comfortable.
Called it.
Sahil, what do you think?
No, it's going to be 2-1. I think Denmark will get the first goal against England, you know, and then England will come back to, well, otherwise it will be 2-0 England and Denmark will get one as a consolation, one of that. I think Denmark will give a fight.
So that'll be England's first goal conceded if that happens. All right, well, these are exciting times for sure. Can the three lions go all the way this time? We'll find out soon enough. Thanks to my guests, and remember to log into gulfsnews.com for all the latest news, and we'll be back with another show soon. We'll see you then.